this is a very poor shot to the left. Didn't expect that from him at this position.
Just chasing onto the back left-hand portion of the green. So we go back 1 to 14.
And Dowie from a very similar spot.
Well, interesting. His ball was in the fairway, lift clean in place. He chose to move it into the shortcut of rough to get that same line Malnati had.
Yeah, you'd see, I'd seen previously the ball mark, so it was maybe a little bit wet right there. It was a smart choice, just he didn't execute very well.
Starting at 10 now, huh? Yeah. You like this? We got the right land, huh? I do.
Back at 15 now. Shane Birch getting ready for his second.
Center of the fairway, 130 yards to this front hole location. 50 degree.
Get there.
It's a long way for him to hit a 50 degree, and he's flushed.
Sounded a little thin, but
yeah,
he got away with it.
Thin to win underneath the hole.
So the end result working out there for Birch as we jump ahead to the par 3 16.
Over the pond, back towards the clubhouse. Michael Kim is 4 under today.
Just 143 yards, front right hole location. He's only given up 9 birdies today. That's probably one of the best shots of the day, utilizing the slope beautifully.
Now Van der Walt for birdie at 14.
So breaking from left to right late.
Just one of those days, and you really needed to take advantage of those 2 shots to get there that close to the green.
And we got a great look at the green there. These are Poa annua greens, so they start to bud. Look, it's 7:15 in the evening here in Cleveland. So when it loses speed, that's when they start to sort of move offline, and you just can't believe it.
80 yards.
Har du
15.
After an aggressive tee shot, Brian Ritchie in his second.
Yeah, just 75 yards to the front, 5 on, so a total of 80. There's some sort of sand wedge here for Brian. And it's interesting, Steve, they did cut and roll the greens in between the rounds. I saw them doing that as we were finishing up this morning. The trick is, can he control the spin here, Craig?
Yeah, there is a little bit of a false, just jam it in the hole.
Oh.
Well, of course, driver was the right play off the tee.
Just driver, flip a wedge to a 1.5 feet, make your birdie and move on.
Well done.
Great shot there by Brian Ritchie. So the likely birdie will move him to 12 under par. Malnati did tap in at 14, so leading the way by a shot over Kim and Birch, but a host of others giving chase as more third round action continues from here in Ohio.
You're unbelievable.
We're back at the 15th. Patton Kazire, long birdie putt.
Yeah, I would say at least 60 feet. Downhill all the way.
Walking after that one rather quickly, but all in all not too bad. So we go up to the 16th.
Michael Kim, a very good look at birdie.
Yeah, 5th birdie. This is for his 5th birdie today, and getting that one back of the lead, and that was just you see the body move, the face stays open. That was just a sharp, poor stroke there from Michael.
4 straight pars after his birdie at 12. The other par 3 on the back.
Now back at 15, Shane Birch for birdie and a share of the lead.
Pretty much straight uphill here.
So,
disappointing.
Yeah, good opportunity missed there. So Birch will tap in for par. Now back to the tee with Malnati.
Looks like a driver.
It is.
And that's headed to the right.
We just saw Brian Ritchie take an aggressive play there, Craig, and it paid off for him, but not for Peter.
You've watched our shows. Now take your game to the next level with hands-on instruction. Learn from the best in the industry at a Golf Channel Academy near you. To find a coach, go to golfchannelacademy.com.
Now back to the green at 15. Kazire in with his par, and Brian Ritchie just the short one, Jane, after the great approach.
Yeah, in money games, you just give someone this putt inside of a foot.
So the aggressive play off the tee pays dividends for Ritchie. 3 under on the day, 12 under overall, trails just by 2 shots. Now back to the tee with Dowie Vanderwalt.
And going with less than a driver here to try to put it in play.
Another one that he's aimed well to the right with his feet and his body. Maybe trying to sort of swipe it across his body, but he gets it in play. I don't understand the decision by Peter Malnati with drive. I know he's an accurate driver, but we're playing the ball up. We're playing preferred lies. Get it in the fairway on a hole that's just 380.
Back to 16. See that wind picking up there on the par 3.
What a beautiful time of day to play. I always enjoyed getting out there at, like I said, it's 20 past 7 here locally.
My dad has a great phrase for this time of day to play golf that is not arable.
39.
But it involves, let's just forget about dinner and keep playing.
It's coming back 3-4 yards probably. Get a wedge fly past the hole. I think it's 2-3 yards. 48. I mean, it's done pretty good.
I just don't think they're got 9 we'll go over on that line.
We still got a cut below this hole on this green, even if it's expensive. 44.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Not much discussion, but seem to have settled on a decision. 143 yards this whole playing this evening, and a slightly down breeze.
38 or 39 shot.
Okay.
Right. Him more spinning.
Yeah, kind of seeing it just on the right edge of the white tip.
Perfect.
Jane, I'm talking about 139. That's about what it's playing. The actual yardage is 143. That's still a long way to hit a wedge. And when you're going at it that hard, you impart a tremendous amount of spin. And the front of this green, there's a fall off. So he's got to hit this solid to not sort of land it just short of flag and suck it off the green.
I'm getting a signal, Craig, that this is a 9-iron.
Well, I like it. There you go. So forget what I just said.
In that case, perfect.
Yeah,
We'll see if he can execute. Yeah, nice easy swing speed. Coming a little left.
That's just fine. You're going to have some movement from left to right, but you know, when you're just hitting a smooth 9-iron, you really expect to get it inside 10 or 15 feet.
Yeah, you saw he was not very happy with it.
You can cut it.
Well, the Birch brothers have chosen a pitching wedge from the signal that I have.
Looking at the web.com tour stuff there in the bleachers. Just let it happen. Show.
Well, they had 130 on the last hole, and he hit the same club in there pretty close. This is about 13 yards longer, but slightly downwind.
He hit the 50-degree sand wedge. This is his pitching wedge. Craig, so we'll go a little bit further. This is a good line, just slightly left of the hole.
We got 37, 44.
Now back at 15, Malnati getting ready for his second.
Cut a very nice lie in the rough. That's just from 124 yards, but it needs to get up a bunch.
That landed in the first cut of rough, and won't have a lot of green to work with, only about 15 feet of green, so all dependent on the lie. sometimes settle down a little bit. Can't impart too much spin on it from that shorter distance.
And Patton Kizzire, the third member of this group at 16.
His club of choice is also pitching wedge. Just a light breeze, really, not much more than a zephyr right now. Beautiful conditions to play golf. You can throw it all the way back to the flag. And he's pulled this one just left of the flag.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, hitting that wedge hard, spinning it off the green. And not his best effort, the man from Auburn.
Native of Alabama, born in Montgomery, spent a good deal of his time living in Tuscaloosa behind enemy lines for an Auburn
That's
Tiger.
true. He did move to St. Simons now, so he's okay.
Neutral territory. It's turned into an absolutely gorgeous evening here in Northeast Ohio. Live third round as we try to get ourselves back on schedule here at the Rust-Oleum Championship after all the weather delays this morning and yesterday. This is Kizzire's second at 16.
And just chipping from the fringe, a little bit of a sticky lie, opting to leave the flag in.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was always on, that particular miss. Just didn't really like the look of that lie.
Now back at 15, Peter Malnati getting ready for his third.
The touch has been exquisite all day. And see, I like the acceleration to create a little loft because he didn't have a lot of green to work with. Takes a lot of confidence. You can sort of get jiggy with it a little bit and send it 5 or 6 feet past.
Back over to 16.
Brian Ritchie, the 29-year-old.
Yeah, and looking at a putt across the green, easily 30 feet. Standing in the middle trying to get a sense of how much break there is. Should break a little from left to right. Then it goes downhill, and then it goes back uphill again to the opposite edge.
Jane, you've got to be pretty impressed with this kid. He's a rookie out here. He's in the second to last group on a Saturday afternoon. I think he's handled himself very nicely.
Oh, I'm very impressed. He has a good, solid all-around game.
This one will swing a lot from left to right. There it goes. Oh, good effort. Yeah, he's 3 under on his round of 8 today. Just made 1 bogey. Hit a lot of good putts.
He has good, solid statistics. Really, the only missing link is his sand game is not too impressive, but putting average is pretty darn good. So, good all-round game.
Now back at 15, Vanderwalt for birdie. And that pretty much sums up his day in this third round. So Dowie in with par, 6 shots off the lead.
Shane Birch at the 16th, a chance to tie for the lead.
Well, they've looked at this one very hard. I don't see a huge amount in this. It's uphill. A great place to make a birdie. This would be a great boost here for Shane. Had a couple of ales, these gentlemen back here, I believe.
Yeah, you've seen a little anxiety, not anxiety, but apprehension there with the putter. You can see him coming out of it a little bit. You know, late in the day, a 45-year-old. Got a lot at stake here.
Now Peter Malnati at 15 to save his par. Well done by the leader. Missing the fairway, missing the green, relying on his short game. So we go back to 16.
Kazire, after a somewhat indifferent pitch, has this left for his par.
He's gone 31 holes without a bogey, and this is a big test to stay within 2 late on the day Saturday.
Should break a little to his left.
You jinxed him again.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a good putt. It was in the center within 6 inches of the hole and just sort of dived or dove left. Such a benign hole, you know. It's just 143 yards of wedge, and the feeling when you walk off that green with a bogey, kick yourself in the teeth.
Now ahead at 17, second here for Michael Kim. 12 under, trailing by 2. Good solid shot there by Michael, hole high, about 20 feet.
Just that, let's call it 40 hole and 46 maximum. Take it just left of it, right edge of the white tent. Good little smooth one of these.
Yep.
Well, again, I don't have to say a whole lot. You talk about taking the spin off. I wonder how many guys practice on the range before they go play, hitting 3/4 shots, taking the spin off.
Probably none. Do you agree with what he said, Phil? You like his plan here?
Absolutely.
Really abbreviated follow through to try and take that spin off.
All right.
The 9-iron was always going to be a little bit deep. That'll be a very quick putt down the hill, breaking from left to right.
It's a really interesting dynamic. He basically narrates himself into the shot. It's kind of like a way of verbally visualizing the shot.
Yeah.
And his wife, Alicia, who's the caddy, her job is to say, yep.
I don't think I've ever heard her say no yet.
No, she just acknowledges that she heard it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like the opposite of a lot of caddy and player relationships. Bray now.
You know, and this distance, this is a distance you need to control your distance. To the tee, I mean, within a yard. You can't afford to be long or short when you've got the ball on a peg from just 143 yards.
And control the spin as well. You told me yesterday on the range, Phil, that as that wanders off to into the first cut of rough there, Johnny Miller was the guy that worked on hitting at half yardages.
Now on the tee at 17, Brian Ritchie set to go.
Yeah, going with driver here. It's a long way to the end of the fairway here. Got to start it down the right side. Let it draw back, which is what he's done. It should be fine.
You can see a lot of players grip that far down the driver. Usually you don't see the butt end of the club. He's halfway down to the steel, but driving it very accurately.
So a good one down the left-hand side for Ritchie. Shane Birch next to go.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, 100%.
Shane's average driving distance is about 291.
Well, 295 to run out through here, Jane, on the left-hand side, and where he's aiming, he's going to try and cut it back up into the fairway.
Yeah, that's the type of shot he seems to like to play.
Yeah.
And with that high takeaway, that should be fine. It's amazing, though, that 291 average is 105.
Yeah.
105th out here.
Yeah.
So 2 for 2. Fairways hit for this group.
Yep.
See if Patton Kazire can make it 3.
Yep.
Just a little bit of breeze off the right here.
Remarkable stretch of golf for Patton Kazire all season long here on the Web.com Tour, especially his last 5 events. A couple opportunities to win.
He's
4 top 10s as well.
Sorry, Steve, in the top 30 in driving distance, so he has to move this from left to right to avoid going through on the left.
And that he has done.
That'll be good.
I liked it. I really liked that swing. Look, maybe a little bit more on the heel just to work it back up in the fairway. The only problem there, it landed so softly, he's going to have a downhill lie to an elevated green.
Now ahead here on the green at 17, Michael Kim has this for birdie, and we talked earlier, Craig, how he left Cal Berkeley early, and we've talked throughout the course of this season that high school class of 2011, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Patrick Rogers, Michael Kim also part of that group. Maybe doesn't quite get the headlines like the others.
Yeah, he had told his coach, he went to Q school still enrolled at Cal, and said to his coach, if I don't make it through, I'm going to come back to college. And he didn't make it through, so the coach expected him to come back. 2 days later, he turned pro.
Yeah, Steve Desimone thought unless there was a full status on one of the tours that Michael Kim would be back, but made the jump to the professional ranks and slowly but surely making his way out here on the Web.com Tour. A glorious Saturday evening here in Ohio. Peter Malnati leads the way.
The PGA Tour Latino America season has reached its halfway mark. 8 tournaments, 7 countries, 6 winners, and a record-breaking season. Argentina's Tommy Kocha was the first player to win back-to-back events.
Sí, bueno, todo eso obviamente lo hace mucho más especial. Me enteré después que terminé que era el primero en ganar dos torneos consecutivos y bueno, habiendo sido el Abierto del Centro, no se puede pedir más.
Samuel Del Valle from Spain also broke a record with stellar play, making 7 consecutive birdies at the Honduras Open. But it's not just current players making a move. 12 PGA Tour Latino America graduates are in the top 75 of the Web.com Tour money list. That includes Julian Etulan, who currently sits in the 25th position after a T2 in Brazil and 2 top 15s so far this season. He is poised to take the next step on the path to the PGA Tour. For those looking to follow in Etulan's footsteps, there are 10 more events on the schedule, culminating with the PGA Tour Latino America Tour Championship at season's end. 10 more chances to contend for a Web.com Tour card and take the next step towards the biggest stage in golf.
Back out to the action at 17, Shane Birch in his second.
180 yards. This is a 7-iron. He's fanned this one a little to the right. Didn't sound like good contact there, Craig.
It did not. 7-iron is still a long way to hit 180 yards uphill, but left it in the right spot.
Back at 16, Malnati, this for his birdie.
Straight down the hill, breaking right late.
Oh, can't leave it short.
Yeah, well, you had to be sort of defensive. You give that one a go, you could run it 4 or 5 feet past.
Now back at 17, Brian Ritchie preparing for his approach.
And he bombed this drive down here, Steve. He only has 153 yards. And this is a 9-iron for Brian. Can't really see the flag from where he is. He had to go back about 20 yards and jump up and get a line. Hole is back in the back left part of the screen, so ideally just right and underneath the hole would be perfect. He's taken this just left of the hole. Well, not the best of leaves.
And just before Ritchie played, Patton Kizzire with his second.
And this was from 174 yards, Steve.
Aiming well right, so trying to turn it into that back left hole location, and that's the signal for the wide. That's a cricket signal, you know that? It's a wide.
Okay. Take Golf Channel with you. Never miss live golf again, whether it's the European Tour to start your day or the Constellation Senior Players Championship in the afternoon. Live golf when and where you want it. GolfLiveExtra.com to download the free app.
Doesn't sound like you're too enamored with cricket.
I'm not familiar with it. I'd like to learn more. Takes like 5 days to finish a match,
I had
right?
a few that one day